Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to keep your Bitcoin safe in a Trezor Model T hardware wallet. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm here on the Trezor homepage. I'm going to show you how to store Bitcoin in a Trezor Model T. Now I've done several other Trezor videos, but they have an update to their Trezor Suite software, so I wanted to walk you through that so you'll have the latest version of everything. So let's get going. So I'm going to go over to Suite, and then I'll get the desktop app. All right, you can just drop this in your downloads folder, and then you'll run the installer once you get it. All right, you can just double click this installer and run the installer. And go ahead and run it. All right, so the new version has been successfully installed. It wants me to connect my Trezor Model T. I've got it right here. So you'll connect it to your computer with a USB cable. Trezor Model T uses a USB-C connector. It's pretty much the latest USB connector out there right now. That's what it's going to look like when you first connect it to your cable. You can just tap here. All right, and then it's going to want you to enter the PIN that you chose when you first set up the device. All right, after you enter the PIN, you just hit that little green check mark. All right, it's going to pull up Suite for you. All right, now in my case, I gave it a specific name, so you'll need to confirm that when you connect your device. If you are not running the latest firmware, you'll get an alert here telling you to update your firmware. So you should always keep your device completely up to date, software-wise and firmware-wise. Software is for your computer, firmware is for the device itself. So we'll want to go ahead and run that firmware update. Let's hit Update Now. Then we'll hit Install Firmware. And make sure you have the seed that you wrote down when you first set up the device. That can be used to recover your crypto to a different device if anything goes wrong during this update. Or if you have to start from scratch, right? But most of the time, you'll just get through this fine, right? So no need to panic when you see that. All right, so they want us to disconnect it and then reconnect it while we're swiping it with our finger. It's a little bit tricky, but it's doable, right? Just disconnect. So the key here is to keep your finger moving back and forth while you're doing this. So you'll notice that I'm about to plug it in as I'm moving my finger back and forth, right? And then you'll get this little message telling you to go ahead and run the firmware update. Go ahead and hit Install Firmware, and then you'll confirm once again on your Trezor device, right? And then you can just watch this progress bar go along. All right, and when we're done, we can just hit Close here on a computer screen. All right, we'll kind of be back where we started. So all we need to do now is just enter our PIN and get going like we did the first time. Just tap that there, enter our PIN. All right, as I said, I changed the name of my wallet, so I need to hit this Enable Labeling. And there we go, back at our home screen again. All right, so we have ourselves signed in to our Trezor Suite. You can see from the dashboard that there's a little bit in my portfolio already. That's some Ethereum. But we're working with Bitcoin today, so I'm just going to go over to Accounts. And I'm going to click on my Bitcoin account over here, make it the active account. And what I would like to do is receive some Bitcoin into my wallet. So in order to do that, I need to generate a receiving address. So when someone wants to send you a check, what's their first question? What's your address, right? So that's the same thing Bitcoin wants to know. Where should I go? Where is your wallet, right? So in order to get that address, I'm going to hit Receive here. And then I can click this button to show the full address. All right, and there it goes. And then we can also confirm this on our device. That's always a good idea to make sure that we have the address showing on the device. That just means that we've got a confirmation, right? That we're putting it in the right place. All right. Now I can copy this address into my clipboard, right? And now I can go buy some Bitcoin and send it to this address. All right, now you can buy Bitcoin almost anywhere these days. If we go to the CoinGecko page for Bitcoin, you can scroll down just a little bit here and click on markets and see all the different places where we can buy Bitcoin, right? Almost every exchange has Bitcoin. I'm going to choose the easiest one, which is Coinbase, and I'll go ahead and do Coinbase Pro. So let's just roll over and get logged into our account. Now, if you're a beginner and you have a Coinbase account, you can use Coinbase Pro. It's the same account. You log into Coinbase Pro with your Coinbase credentials, your username and password. Even if you have two-factor authentication, you can use that to get yourself logged into Coinbase Pro. A little cheaper to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase Pro because you're not getting that merchant charge. You're just getting a trading charge. So, but it's a little, there's a few more steps. What we need to do is deposit money into our account and then make the trade, right? On Coinbase, you just say buy Bitcoin and it takes it out of your bank and they give you that fat merchant charge. We want to avoid that. So we'll go over here to portfolios and then we'll just choose deposit and we'll choose US dollar, right? We're going to put some money into our account so that we can do a trade. We'll hit from our bank. And now if you have a Coinbase account, you should have your bank account set up to connect to your Coinbase account. We'll just put in $100 and then hit preview. And it's going to instantly put $100 in our account so that we can trade for some Bitcoin. Keep in mind that if you try to withdraw immediately, you might not be able to. It's going to wait for your bank transaction to clear, up to 7 days. It's probably going to be less than that, but just be prepared to wait 7 days before you make your withdrawal. Unless, of course, you already have some Bitcoin in your account that's cleared, or you have some other value in the account that can act as collateral, you'll be able to withdraw your Bitcoin immediately. All right, so the money is in my Coinbase Pro account. Let's go over to the trading interface. All right, we'll click up here where it says select market, and we're going to choose the first one, right? That's the big boy, Bitcoin for dollars, right? That's our trading pair. All right, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it on market order, which executes right away. And I'll go ahead and choose the max, which is the $100 that I put in there. And I'll place my order. Notice here it's only going to cost 40 cents, right? If we'd have done this over on Coinbase, I believe the charge for $100 worth of Bitcoin is $2.99, right? So we're getting a much cheaper fee by using Coinbase Pro. Let's hit place buy order. All right, and that went through fairly quickly. We'll just go over to portfolios. We can do a quick refresh. All right, and now you can see that the Bitcoin is in my account. So I'm going to do a withdrawal, and I'm going to send it over to my Trezor wallet. So we'll hit withdraw. All right, and I'm going to choose Bitcoin, and I'm going to send it to a crypto address, which is my wallet. All right, now the address is here in my Trezor suite, right? We copied that into our clipboard. So we'll just go back over to Coinbase. We'll paste in that address. And then once it's in there, we'll click use this address. And then we can just sort of double check, eyeball it, make sure it looks the same in the beginning and the end as the one we see over here in Trezor Suite, right? Just that last check. All right, and then we'll go ahead and send it all. Now, if you've never done this before and you have a lot of Bitcoin in your account, wherever it is on any exchange, I would highly recommend do a small test transaction first to make sure it's going to get where you expect, right? You don't want to send a huge chunk of Bitcoin if you're not sure and you've never done it before. Always do a small test transaction first. All right, so we'll click withdraw here, and then I need my two-factor for my Coinbase account. All right, there we go. I get a little alert saying that my withdrawal has started. You can monitor it on its way out from Coinbase by going over here to the withdrawals tab. And you can see here that I have a pending outgoing transaction of Bitcoin, right? So you can keep an eye on that. When it says completed, you'll know that it's on its way over to your wallet. All of this has to confirm on the Bitcoin blockchain, so it does take a few minutes, right? All right, and then you can just wait over here in your wallet for the Bitcoin to come in. All right, you can see now that the Bitcoin has arrived in my wallet. We can close the receive interface and just look and see that the transaction has arrived in my wallet. Now it still is pending, which just means that it has to confirm on the Bitcoin blockchain. Does not mean you don't have it. It just means it's unspendable at the moment, right? You can't send it out anywhere else. But once you see that incoming, you'll know that it's in your wallet, safe and sound, and you've got it stored properly, right? And once you've seen that, if you see that incoming transaction in your wallet and it was a test, you'll know that the address is correct and everything's fine, and you can go ahead and do the same thing with the rest of the Bitcoin that you want to store in this wallet. All right? So that's it. Safe and sound in your wallet. Good way to keep your Bitcoin safe and secure in all this craziness that's going on in the world today. If you have any questions about anything I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.